Hello, everybody, and welcome to the preview for the game Man Utd versus Brentford. We've just had the team news from Ruben Amorim in the press conference. He's confirmed that there are players that will be missing. One of the players that we knew would be missing in this game was Casemiro. He got a red card against Chelsea and he was going to miss one game because it was two yellow cards to be a red card. So Casemiro won't be available. That brings about the issue of the midfield. What should we expect in the midfield? The other players that surprisingly have been confirmed to be unavailable today. Mazrui won't be available until after the break, so I think he has an injury. Ahmad also won't be available. According to Ruben Amorim, there's a family member who passed away, so he needs to be at home. The club is supporting him through this time because it's a difficult time. So he won't be available. So that is another player that won't be there. There's also the case of Licha. Lisandro Martinez is still unavailable. He's still not ready to play since his injury. It's been a long time, but the club doesn't want to rush him. So that is the team news. We have four players that will be unavailable for this game. The rest of the players are available. So one of the interesting things that we are going to see is who will be starting at right wing back. It has been Mazrui and Ahmad so far. So that is going to be one of the areas that will receive a change. In my opinion, I think one of the players that will play there is Dalo. Dalo is back. He's been training the whole of this week. Dogu is also available, so the wing back positions are either going to be Dogu and Dalo. The midfield is also going to be an issue. Who is going to start for Casemiro? Now that Casemiro is unavailable, it's either going to be Ugarte or Romano. We'll discuss that in the predicted lineup as they come. This is a big game for Man United because Brentford has always been in recent times has always been a difficult game for Man United, especially away from home. This season we have not won a single game away from home, so it's still going to be a difficult season because we have indifferent performances. Some of our performances are very well good. Some of but the results are not there. Some of our performances are not good enough. So it's going to be a game that we really need to take seriously. Let's look at the record of this game. According to the record of this game, we the last game we lost 4-3. You can't really know much about that game because it was at a period of time where we are going for the Europa League, so we threw away most of our games in the league. This was one of those games where we started Fredrickson in defense. I think we also started, I'm not sure, but the defense was not good enough. We also started Hariamas in that game, and the inexperience in that team showed. We lost 4-3, which was a good game, but we have not also won in Brentford for a long time. The previous game that we played at Brentford was a 1-1 draw. We also played another game that we lost 4-0, the first infamous game for Man United when Ten Hag went to Brentford and lost 4-0. The other game we have to go back to 19th January 2022. That is around 3.5 years back, 3 years 9 months back, to find a game that we won. That was the game that we won 3-1 at Brentford. So you look at this, and it's not an easy place to go to for Man United. It hasn't been an easy place in the recent times. Yes, Brentford have weakened their team, but they are still strong because the last two games that they played at home, they were both draws. They have played at Chelsea, it was a 2-2 draw at home. They also played Aston Villa, it was a 1-1 draw at home. So it can't be taken as a light game. We always tend to win our games at Old Trafford. We beat them 2-1 the last time at Old Trafford. We also beat them 2-1 in the other game and 1-0 in the other game, also 3-0. So we have won all our games at home, 4 games and one draw in the last 5 games that we have played Brentford at Old Trafford. But at the GTEC Stadium, we tend to struggle a bit. So this is going to be a game that is serious. You can see we have not had a back-to-back wins under Ruben Amorim since February of last year. Ruben Amorim came in November, but until from last year February, we haven't had back-to-back league games, that league wins, and this is a game that we need to show that we have turned a corner. The game against Chelsea, we started really well. We also really started the game against Man City well. We have been starting games so well, but we are not taking the advantage of those quick starts. We also started very well against Fulham. We had 3 or 4 chances that we should have scored in the first 15 minutes, but once the game went on, Fulham built their confidence. And if you can have these teams where we play very well and then we let the teams back into the game, it won't end well for us. So we need to take advantage of the fast start that we can start. If you can start fast against Brentford and get 1 or 2 goals, then we can change the style of play. We just control the game, try to protect our lead, while hit them on the counter, two more, three more, then you can get more goals. Mostly this game is usually a one goal margin, except for the anomaly where we lost 4-0 against Brentford. These other games are usually 1-1, 4-3, 2-1. They are games that are close games. So you score one or two goals, you can be able to defend until the end. But we really need to take advantage of our start. If we are going to have a half start, then Man United needs to take advantage of that and make sure this game is not one of those games that changes because the team gets confidence the more we don't score. If you look at the times of the lineup, I think the lineup, based on the news that you have just heard, there are going to be changes. One of the changes is going to be at right wing back. I think Dalot should start at the right wing back because it's the only option we have. Diego Leon is not good enough, so he can't start at left wing back. So that will be one of the major changes. The other major change will be in midfield. Ugarte should, I think, in my opinion, Mino should be starting this game, but Ugarte seems to be the go-to midfielder for Ruben Amorim, especially when he wants somebody to for ball recoveries or wants to make the game difficult, and then Mino can come into the second half. So in goal, I think Bainda will continue. There have been some rumors that Arsene Lamens will start this Brentford game. There was concern that he's doing very well in training. Simon Stone said he's doing very well in training. He's come out of the hotel. He's now found a home within the Manchester area, and he's continuing to settle. He's settling very fast. The coaches are impressed with him in training. But I don't think this is the kind of game that he will start in. He'll probably start in the game against Sunderland if he was to start a game soon. He's one for the future. They are trying to groom him to that goalkeeping role. I think Baindi doesn't feel people with confidence yet because it always seems like a mistake waiting to happen. But he will continue in this game. He had a good game against Chelsea. He also played the City game. He didn't have that a good game against City, but it seems that Ruben Amorim prefers him because of his experiences so far in the Premier League. So we will see about that. I think Bainde will start. In the defense, in the last game, Maguire started ahead of Euro. It was Maguire, Delete, and Shaw. I think one of the reasons that Ruben Amorim gave for that is because Chelsea put in a lot of crosses, and he wanted a player like Maguire who could be able to defend those crosses, and you saw that he was very crucial in that game. He defended a lot of crosses that came in. He was able to help us in that way until a time where Euro was substituted for him. So I don't think there's a similar pattern with Brentford. Euro can start this game. We'll go back to the defensive pairing, the defensive trio that has been dependable from the first game. So it will be Euro, Deli, and Shaw. In terms of the midfield two will be Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes, according to my predictions. I think Dogu and Dalot will start as the wing backs. In the number 10s, Cunha is back. He has been training the whole of this week. In the last game, he was able to play the last 30 minutes, but I think he's now ready to start. So Mbeumo and Cunha should start. Mbeumo is an important game for him. He's going back to the club that made him. He's going back to Brentford. In the Premier League, that's the kind of club that made us know about Mbeumo in terms of the performances. He had a good time there. He left respectfully, unlike some players that had some disagreements with the club. I don't think he had a bad time there, and he won't probably. I don't think he'll get a bad reception because he left respectfully, and I'm hoping he can also score. Probably I think he won't celebrate a goal because it's his former club, but I'm hoping he scores. He has a good game, and the more if Mbeumo has a good game, we have a higher chance of winning that game. In striking, I think Sesko should start. He needs game time. He needs to continue getting game time, getting used to the league. The more he gets used to the league, the more he can be of help to us. So hopefully he starts this game and continues to build his confidence. It would be really good if he caught a goal or an assist that can build his confidence and help us win this game. So that's going to be my predicted lineup. We'll see if Ruben Amorim agrees with that. The game starts early tomorrow, 12:30 GMT. So it's going to be a game that I think 12:30 BST. So it's going to be a game that will be very good in terms of the confidence that the team gets. Sometimes the table can give the players confidence. So if they win that game and see that they probably equal in points with the second place team, which is Arsenal, the goal difference might not be good enough to get that lead, but at least in terms of the points, you see, you go up the table, you go ahead of Man City, you go ahead of Chelsea before they play their games. So that is going to be good for the confidence, and going into the Sunderland game, we look for a win and going to the international break well. So hopefully we can win that game and see where it takes us in the next week. This case of waiting for one game per week is tiresome. You especially if you don't get a win, waiting for the next week, it's going to be a tiresome period. The press are having a killing with the team. So if we win, we make it an easy game. We win the game. We wait for the weekend. We watch the other games without much fuss, and hopefully we continue building on the win against Chelsea. So let's see what the weekend brings, and we can talk about the weekend games after. Have a good day.